Hello and welcome to the Maternity and Infant Awards 2010 here in the Shelbourne Hotel in Dublin.
Today we celebrate the inspirational people living amongst us in Irish society. People who face challenges on a daily basis and carry a burden that goes unrecognised and unrewarded.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome your hosts to the stage for the Maternity and Infant Awards 2010, Sybil Mulcahy and Martin King.
Very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're delighted to be here today to host the Maternity and Infant Awards 2010 and reward the best in products and services for mothers and babies as voted for by you, the consumers, and of course honour the inspirational women and men living amongst us in Irish society.
The awards, now in its third successful year, were originally designed to give parents their say on their favourite products and services, and also to acknowledge the very best in this competitive industry, along with the ever-popular People Awards, honouring midwives, paediatricians and child heroes, amongst others.
Now, I'm sure you're just as excited as we are to start the awards ceremony and to find out who this year's winners are, so best of luck to all of you. On to our first People of the Year award this afternoon, and it's Midwife of the Year, sponsored by Caldazine. I would like to invite Martin Gallagher of Caldazine on stage to present this award. Nice to talk to you, Martin. You are from Caldazine and you're sponsoring two awards today.
We are, yeah. We're sponsoring the Midwife of the Year award, and we're also sponsoring the Paediatrician of the Year award.
Okay, quite heavy competition, I would imagine, for both those awards.
Well, hopefully, from what we've met, the people that we met, I think the colour has been fantastic. It's very nice to see people outside the medical profession putting people within the medical professions up for this kind of award, and we're very much delighted to be associated with this.
And I suppose it's good, especially in the midwife category. Oftentimes midwives can be overlooked.
Yeah, I think so, but I can assure you that midwives are absolutely essential to the whole process. And again, speaking from some experience in the past and having midwives in the family, I know that they're essential in terms of the whole health of the mother and the child going forward.
I understand that this year's Paediatrician of the Year has been spoken about highly for years, and people have wanted him to win for the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've only personally met the gentleman fairly recently, but I understand he's from the Coombe Hospital, and he's been in Ireland for a number of years, and he seems like an excellent winner, yeah.
How important is it for Caldazine to be involved in a ceremony like this?
It's very important. It's because as a company, Clonmel Healthcare, we're very heavily involved in the whole mother and baby aspect. So we have a number of products, particularly Caldazine, which we use for nappy rash. And then on the other side of the scale, we have Caldies, which is the other award here today, which we use for the treatment of colic in babies.
This award goes to someone whose colleagues and patients speak volumes, not just about this midwife's professionalism and care of the patient, but also about the quality, efficiency and outstanding commitment to her work. Martin Gallagher from Caldazine will now announce the winner.
It gives me great pleasure on behalf of Caldazine for nappy rash to announce the winner of Midwife of the Year, which is Bernadette Loughnane.
A big congratulations to both of you, Bernadette, and especially to yourself. Midwives often don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Absolutely, and this is just fantastic. It's fantastic for me, and it's also fantastic for every midwife, and particularly my colleagues in the birthing suite of Cork University Maternity Hospital, and indeed all over the hospital. So a heartfelt thank you, Breathe, for your thoughtfulness.
Well, a big congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Breathe.
Our next category is Nurse of the Year, sponsored by the Daily Mail. We'd like to invite Ariana Dunn from the Irish Mail on Sunday to announce the winner. But first, let's get an insight into the life of our Nurse of the Year.
understanding, compassionate and a great team worker are just some of the words used to describe our Nurse of the Year. Care of the patient and parents of the child are this nurse's number one priority.
I nominated Breda for this award mostly because she's just so inspiring how compassionate she is. She's just so compassionate and so kind. She always has the children and the family's welfare at the forefront of her mind, and she's really instilled that in all of us here in A&E.
Myself and Breda have worked together for the last 15 years, and during all that time Breda has always put the children first, and her kindness, I'd like to say, to the children and the families has just been amazing, you know, and has been so consistent. Every day she comes in so positive to work and always puts the families and children first. She's taught us so much as junior staff nurse, and she always is very approachable, and she's just a great person to work with and a great person to learn from as well. But mostly it's just her kindness is just outstanding, and everybody who knows Breda will say that she's just such a kind lady.
It's a privilege to be a parent, and as nurses and as the medical teams here, we have a great responsibility in looking after parents' children, so that we have to have a very high standard so that everything is done to make sure that the outcome is very good for the child and the family.
Daily Mail and Irish Mail on Sunday campaign tirelessly for a better health service for both patients and staff. So it's a great pleasure that on behalf of the Irish Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday, I'm delighted to announce the winner of Nurse of the Year 2010 to Breda Moran.
Next we have a new award this year, which is most deserved. We cannot forget the dads and the efforts they go to provide for their families. The entries were excessive, but the judges could only choose one winner. It was a difficult choice. Let's hear the winning story, nominated by his wife, Sarah Ann.
My husband Eamon was made redundant when our daughter Chloe was just 6 months old. Instead of panicking about how we were ever going to cope, he decided to start up his own quantity surveying and BER energy assessor company from home. Eamon works all the hours God sends to provide for our family. No matter how busy or stressed life gets, he always makes time to spend with Chloe. Every evening at 6 p.m, he stops work so he can spend quality time with Chloe. He bathes her, gives her her bottle and reads her a story before bed every night, no matter how tired or behind in work he is. Once she's asleep, he starts back at work for another few hours. We're so proud of him and all the work he does. He's our hero and a real source of inspiration for people in this difficult economic time.
I'm delighted that they've given me the job to present this award. From one dad to another, our Dad of the Year 2010 goes to Eamon Mulqueen. Congratulations, Eamon. Being made redundant and getting straight into this new business, how's it going for you now?
It's going pretty well. As the clip said, I have my own quantity surveying and BER energy assessment company. I suppose, having been made redundant, I realised I had a lot of time and effort and money spent on my education, and I didn't want to just have that wasted. So there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities out there. So the best thing for me to do at the time was to set up my own company. Is it true that even if you're in another part of the country, you'll try to get home so that you can be there to read a story for Chloe at bedtime? I do, yeah. Her bedtime is about 8ish, and I generally work out how long it takes me to get home, and try and be home for 8ish.
You do realise you're making it so hard for the rest of us. You're a tough act to follow. I think he's a worthy winner. Our Dad of the Year, Eamon Mulqueen.
That's it for part one. Coming up, we have Mum of the Year, Grandparent of the Year and Business Parent of the Year awards.
This brings us to one of my favourite awards, the Mum of the Year, sponsored by Maxi Cosi. And I'd like to invite Pauline Harmon of Maxi Cosi on stage to announce the winner. Before we do, let's get an insight into the life of our Mum of the Year, who has 8 children aged between 2 and 11 and has recently suffered with ill health herself. She was nominated by her dear friend Helen Keane. Take a look.
Supportive, inspirational and positive are just some of the traits we find in mums of today. It can mean juggling raising your kids, housework, homework and cooking, to name just a few.
I nominated Kim for Mother of the Year just because I feel that she deserves the title that she has now. She has great patience and time and gives her children absolutely everything that a mother should give, except that she's given it 8 times over. I just couldn't do with my eyes open what she can do with hers closed.
What makes having a big family extra special is that it actually brings us all closer together and that we all help each other out. I find that really rewarding.
That night was just it was horrendous to watch. Certainly to watch your best, to watch anybody, but to watch your best friend literally go from standing talking to you to suddenly just becoming ill. And basically when she became ill, she just was unconscious, completely and utterly unresponsive. Just as kind of the ambulance kind of came and got there, she was flatlined. And when she went to the hospital, when she was in the ambulance, they performed CPR.
I've been okay, but recently now, about 2 weeks ago, I've had another seizure, which was quite a prolonged seizure, which I was quite ill for after that for a good bit. Having 8 kids, I suppose, you know, it's the best thing in the world. You've got 8 different little people, you've got 8 different personalities, and when each of them show you that they love you, when they show you, you know, they're happy, when they laugh, and they make you laugh, and you're having bad days, you can guarantee with 8 kids, you can guarantee someone's going to make you laugh. I couldn't be rewarded enough in this life. You know, every time I look at them, that's good enough for me.
Maxi Cosi is delighted to support Mum of the Year again this year, and the winner is a very deserving Kim Burnett.
Well, our awards wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, and we're delighted to see back once again the people from Maxi Cosi, and here again, Pauline Harmon.
Yes, Martin.
3rd year running you're involved in this.
We're delighted to be back on board again this year. This year we're sponsoring Mum of the Year, so we're really looking forward to the outcome.
But we have a great winner this year, Mum of the Year.
Yes.
A very deserving
A very deserving Mum of the Year.
And these awards are really important.
They are very important. So obviously we're Maxi Cosi, we're manufacturers of child car seats, so it's very important to have the parents on board. They're voting for us and voting for our products, and then it's nice to give something back to the industry as well.
Well, today's the day for giving something back, and we're delighted to see you here again.
Thank you.
Now on to our next award, Grandparent of the Year. We couldn't do without our mums and our dads, and of course our kids' grandparents to help us with childminding, giving advice and being there to support us. The Maternity and Infant Award for Grandparent of the Year is a touching story, nominated by Clodagh O'Carroll.
An inspirational grandmother who works tirelessly for her family and in particular provides tremendous support to her daughter Clodagh in helping to care for her little grandson Christian.
Bye, Nana. Give Nana a kiss. Quick, give her a kiss. Our little boy has been very sick since he was born, really, and my mum has kind of gone above and beyond. Without her, we wouldn't have survived. She's stepped in when we needed her to step in, and he loves her, and she's taken leave from work just to help us.
When a child is ill, you know, you develop a bond because you spend so much more special time with them, you know, through the good times and the bad times, and a lot of bad times in the last year, to be honest. But well, I mean, he's come out the other side, thank God.
She's on the end of the phone up to, I could ring her 50 times in a day, crying and laughing, and you know, she's got us through it really.
When I just go up from work, I'd have a couple of hours sleep, and then I'd go up and I'd do the night shift up there to give them a break.
You just couldn't put into words how much it means to us what my mum has done. You really couldn't. I mean, she's the reason we've got through this, and she's the reason Christians got through it.
And the winner of Grandparent of the Year is Margaret Hickey. Let's welcome her up on stage. Now we move on to Business Parent of the Year. We all know too well the challenges we face at the moment trying to run a business and ultimately provide for our families. For this reason, it's more important than ever to reward young entrepreneurs who are striving to build a business and care for their families. This year, Fusion Communications are sponsoring our Business Parent of the Year, and I would like to invite Greg Canty from Fusion on stage to announce the winner. Before he does that, let's take a look at our Business Parent story.
I want to nominate my husband, Adrian Devan, as Business Parent of the Year. Adrian started his own business this year, Babog Baby Limited. The company is based in Galway and launched its first product this year, BB, the world's first Irish-speaking teddy bear.
A 3.
Adrian has had a really busy year, trying to set up the company, doing all the legal side, finding a manufacturer, getting funding, and making his dream a reality, and all at the same time running a family home with me. We have one 3-year-old daughter, Robin, and another on the way. There's been a lot to do in preparation for the new arrival, and Adrian has been with me all the way while running his business and developing it further. He has a busy day trying to sell the products, setting up the website, daily meetings, weekly headaches, problem solving, troubleshooting, and he always stays level-headed and has time for me, Robin, and also to help me around the house so I'm not too worn out.
Fusion Communications are delighted to announce that the winner of the Business Parent of the Year is the Irish-speaking teddy bear, Adrian Devan.
And now we move on to our Sweetest Moment competition, sponsored by Mother Care, and we'd like to invite Barry Kelly from Mother Care on stage to announce the winner. Now, parents from all over the country sent in photos of their darling kids for the competition, and judges found it particularly tough to choose a winning photo. The winner was the opportunity to be on the front cover of the January-February 2011 issue of Maternity and Infant magazine, and dressed, of course, by Mother Care. Who else? But who's won?
Mother Care are delighted to announce the Sweetest Moment of the Year award goes to Lola and Dylan Diaz.
That's it for part 2. Coming up, we have Baby Story of the Year, Paediatrician of the Year, and the Little Champion of the Year awards.
Next, we move on to Baby Story of the Year, another new category this year, where we acknowledge the struggles baby has had coming into this world. This category is sponsored by TIDA, and I'm delighted to invite Sonia Boyle from TIDA to present the award.
Ronan, you're with TIDA, and you're sponsoring Baby of the Year. How important is it for TIDA to be involved in an award ceremony like this?
Nelson's TIDA has been around for a long, long time. It's a natural product, it's a homeopathic product, and it's a baby product. So to be involved with Baby of the Year is really important to us on a special year for Nelson's, their 150th year in existence. So it was important for us to do something important and big to recognise that, and the 150th year we decided to go with Baby of the Year.
It's quite difficult to pick a Baby of the Year, I mean, because everybody has a great story. Did you find it hard?
Well, I think that all the stories that came in were fantastic and very inspirational at times. But when the Baby of the Year that has been going to receive the award was chosen, I think it was kind of a very special and obvious one in a way. They stood out just to everybody involved. So we're very happy to be involved with it.
Let's take a look at our Baby of the Year.
A little boy who came into the world against all the odds, who ultimately overcame all the challenges and is now a healthy, thriving little boy.
In 2005, we went for our first IVF attempt, and we went to Clane up in County Kildare. And I think on our third attempt, we had a chemical pregnancy. And on our fourth attempt, got pregnant again. 2009, I was 40, and we said, look, we'll have one last go. You just knew by his face that something wasn't right. And he then put the scan down. He said, look, we have a problem. And he said at that point that he could see this double bubble, but the other thing, he said, I have to tell you that it's quite closely linked with Down syndrome. I think probably for 3 days solid, I just cried constantly. I was absolutely devastated.
Situations like that, you obviously try and remain positive and look at the positives of 70%, and then you say, well, even if Padraig is in the 30%, you say, well, that's okay. We can deal with that. He
was born weighing £2.15 on the 26th of April, and cried, which I wasn't expecting. And didn't need any oxygen or any help in breathing at all. When Padraig was going to be so early, the kind of fact that, even once we had the diagnosis confirmed that he had Downs, it nearly was irrelevant, because it was just, we want to bring him home and we want to bring our baby home. And, there was people who didn't bring their babies home, and, people we knew who didn't bring their babies home, and we do realise every day how lucky we are that he's here. I think every day I still look at him and can't believe he's mine.
Nelson's Teether are delighted to announce that the baby story of the year is Padraig O'Callaghan.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are we interfering with sleep time?
There's every chance. It's been like this all day, haven't you? He doesn't know what's going on.
He's giving me a sly look, folks. I don't think he's too impressed. He's a fighter. He's meant to be here, and he went through an awful lot to get here. And to two very proud parents and our Baby of the Year story, Padraig, would you please give him a round of applause?
If you don't mind, we're here today to celebrate, obviously, good stories or stories with happy endings. As Marie said in the VT, there are a lot of people out there that aren't so lucky as we are. People undergoing treatment or this and that. I won't go into it. But just a spare thought for all those people, because we know how lucky we are. So, thank you.
Now, our next People Award category this afternoon is Paediatrician of the Year, sponsored by Lactese. I would now like to invite Martin Gallagher back on stage to represent Lactese and present this award. Let's take a look at our Paediatrician of the Year.
We've had ongoing and continuous problems with my daughter Sive's health due to reflux and constipation ever since she was born. Even now, at 15 months, Sive is still under our paediatrician's care in the Coombe. He's been so caring and interested in her well-being. He has a fabulous way with my daughter and with my husband and I, which really puts us all at ease. I feel he has really gone above and beyond for us. He has been thorough and patient, and his care for our family has been second to none. I can't praise him highly enough.
It's with great pleasure on behalf of Lactase for Infant Colic, I'm delighted to announce that this year's Paediatrician of the Year goes to Dr. Jan Milton.
What does it feel to get an award like this, Dr. Milton? Because you do such great work, and I'm sure you're rewarded every day with what you do. Does this mean anything?
Not really. I'm a little bit ashamed because I wish to be a doctor from that kind of little speech, you know, and I believe that every day I'm closer and closer to it, okay? So I'm not getting these prizes every day, so I'm really proud of it, and thanks a lot to my wife and everybody who supports me all this year to get this prize.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Our next category is our Little Champion of the Year, and I'd like to invite well-known beauty journalist and TV3 colleague of ours, Laura Birmingham, on stage to present this award. First, let's take a look at our Little Champion story.
This young girl is a competitive swimmer and is involved in Irish water safety. These skills came into play during a summer holiday in Mallorca this year with her family, where she prevented the kind of tragedy that is every parent's worst nightmare. On the fourth day of the Dills family holiday, their young daughter was swimming in the pool when she saw what she thought was a doll in the water. Being curious, she went over to the doll, but she quickly realised that it was a child. His face was pale and his lips were purple. Acting on instinct, she put her arm under the child's head so he could breathe, and on doing that, she called for help. Lifeguards came to her aid and applied CPR, which took a minute or two to revive him. Our little champion stayed at this boy's side until she knew he was okay.
Well, she's channeling her inner Coco Chanel today. Please welcome Grace Deal and her dad Fergus to the stage to accept her Little Champion Award for 2010.
Our Little Champion of the Year, folks. Grace, how are you?
Fine.
Okay. You're in good form? Grace, take us back to that moment when you were in the swimming pool and you realised that it was a little boy. What was the first thing on your mind?
I thought it was a doll, so I was like looking at it, and then I touched its arm, and then I put my hand under his head and I shouted for help.
Okay. And you stayed with him until he was okay? Yeah. You realise you're a hero, don't you? Yeah. Our Little Champion of the Year. Well done.
Now we move on to our Obstetrician of the Year award, sponsored by Aptamil Follow-On. And I'd like to invite Aoife Byrne from Aptamil onto the stage to present the award. This year's recipient was nominated by new mum Alison Canavan. Let's take a look at the winning story.
Our Obstetrician of the Year goes to a doctor whose name has kept popping up since the awards were launched back in 2008. Each nominee felt that he went beyond the call of duty to provide the best care, listen to their concerns, and to provide reassurance. Words fail me here, but on a third baby, I could not fault the man for his ability, his understanding, and his professionalism. As a public patient, I always felt I was being looked after to the highest degree, never rushed and always listened to, even on the minor things.
On behalf of Aptamil Follow-On, I'm delighted to announce Obstetrician of the Year is Dr. Hugh O'Connor from the Coombe Women's Hospital.
Dr. O'Connor, what can I say? The last time I saw this gentleman, he was delivering my baby. So I'm delighted that you can see me with a bit more clothing on today, and, you know, at face level, and in a social setting, and where there's no drugs involved. But a big congratulations. You have been nominated year after year in this award because the women simply love you. What is it about you, do you think?
I have to say, I guess I'm very fortunate. I love my job. My patients, by and large, are very healthy. They're easy to look after. You're involved in kind of one of the major moments of their life, and my job is very easy. Jan's is difficult because when things don't go right, you know, he's left to pick up the pieces. But by and large, you know, our ladies are young, fit, well, healthy.
Dr. O'Connor, a big congratulations. You're a super doctor, and I'll see you maybe in a couple of years.
Please, God. Can I just say big thanks to my ever-supportive wife who puts up with hardly ever seeing me, and great staff in the Coombe. Thanks very much. Thank you.
That's it for part 3. Coming up, we have Young Achiever of the Year, Child Hero of the Year, and Special Merit Award for Outstanding Courage and Bravery.
Next is our Child Hero of the Year award, sponsored by Heinz Tomato Ketchup. Before we go to the award, I would like to invite Joe Mohan, MD from Heinz, on stage to announce the winner.
Well, joining us now is Joe Mohan from Heinz, and Heinz are again involved in our Maternity and Infant Awards. They're very important awards, aren't they, Joe?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a pleasure to be involved. Heinz is a strong family brand, and certainly there's a strong resonance with this whole event, so we're delighted to be involved. When we got to read some of the stories and the nominations surrounding the Child Hero Awards, it's humbling but an incredible experience, so we're absolutely delighted to be involved on this occasion today.
It actually makes you appreciate all you have when you read what other people are going through, but it really gets home when you realise it's a child's story you're reading.
Absolutely. I mean, the bravery, the generosity of these children, particularly Adelina, who we'll see later on, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the things that she's done through adversity, I don't think any adult would do it, so you've got to take your hats off to them. It's incredible.
And in a roundabout way, it's also a compliment to the parents that they have
Absolutely.
a child as wonderful as this, despite all her challenges.
Absolutely. I mean, we met her mother, Linda, and Pasquale, her father, and also her grandmother's here today, Pauline, as well. And they're a fine family. And as you said, I mean, it's easy to see where Adelina's come from. I mean, they're a good family with an incredible daughter who they're very proud of.
Our Child Hero of the Year was first diagnosed with cancer in May 2007 at 7 years of age, after a minor head bump revealed itself to be cancer. Within days of being diagnosed, she began aggressive treatment, and she continued to receive intensive chemotherapy for a further 2 years. Since diagnosis, she and her family have raised over €40,000 for cancer research through fundraising, participation in and organising fun runs and walks. In one such 5-mile walk, organised by her family in aid of the Children's Cancer Fund, an ill and extremely weak young girl insisted on walking 2 miles, as much as she could manage on the day, because it was raising money for sick children like herself. Thankfully, her illness is in remission for a year now. She celebrated her 10th birthday in August, and the following day gave up her personal time to launch the Superhero Fun Run in Cork. One of many selfless acts she continues to perform to raise money and awareness for the Children's Cancer Fund. When it came to getting involved in the Superhero Fun Run, our child hero said, "I'll do it because it'll help all the other sick children like me with cancer."
It's an amazing story, as I'm sure you'll all agree. So on behalf of Heinz, I'm privileged and honoured to ask Adelina Corgilani to come up, an incredible girl, to receive her award.
On to our Young Achiever Award, and I would like to invite top international model Alison Canavan back on stage to announce the winner. This award acknowledges a child who shows exceptional talent in music, art, dance, sport and more. And this year we received a story that blew the judges away. Have a look at this.
This 6-year-old boy has been playing golf since he was just 3 years old, wears size 1 golf shoes and can drive a golf ball 150 yards. He got his first set of plastic golf clubs aged 2, his first real set aged 2.5, and is now on his third set of real clubs. The golf prodigy has represented Ireland at one of America's finest competition courses, in which he finished 36th in the under-6 section of the US Kids Golf World Championship. It was the largest, most prestigious event in the world for players aged 12 years and under, attracting some 1,500 competitors. Although he was too young to get an official handicap, this little fellow is a member at Lee Valley Golf and Country Club in Cork, where he is an honorary member and often plays a round or two, even taking time out of his school holidays to practice. The club's PGA Pro says he has a special talent and plays the game with remarkable poise and confidence. He's a great young kid. It's just so refreshing to see a 6-year-old stand up and play like that. He has a beautiful swing, rhythm and timing, whether it's a drive, a little chip, a shot or a putt.
And I think our next future Corey Carrington, the winner of the Young Achiever of the Year, is Zach Collins. Please join me in welcoming Zach and his dad, Dennis, on the stage.
Okay. Well, folks, this is it. We've reached the pinnacle awards to be presented today. The Special Merit Award for outstanding courage and bravery shown by a family who came together through a traumatic and deeply upsetting time, overcame all the hurdles and are here with us today to celebrate. We'd now like to welcome back on stage Susan Grant, the event director for the Maternity and Infant Awards.
Hi folks, good to see you again. I think the awards here this evening and today have just been amazing. I'm sure you've all been moved. Now we're on to our Special Merit Award for outstanding courage and bravery for the Ben Halfaf family. Before I invite them on stage, let's take a look at their story.
For My Little Fighters by Angie Ben Halfaf. I loved you both from the very start, when doctors thought you shared one heart. I cried so much during that time. We didn't think that all would be fine. Your two big sisters got me through the worst. I really felt that I'd been cursed. For 8 months I was in such a lonely place, as the birth was something I thought I couldn't face. But then came beautiful winter's morn. On the 2nd of December, my little fighters were born. To hear you both cry was music to our ears. Your dad and I cried so many tears. You both have given me courage and strength. What a wonderful gift we've been sent. Hassan is the quiet one and a minute older. Hussein is the naughty one. He's a little bit bolder. 2 wonderful boys joined together in love. You truly are a gift sent from above. I feel so honoured to be your mum. I need just one more miracle to come. The Little Fighters is the name you share. You've earned it well, as you fought to be here. Your final battle is getting near. We're all behind you, so have no fear. Boys, you have filled us all with love and hope. Without you both, we would never cope. Keep on fighting to stay strong. Always remember your big sister's song. You are not alone is the song they sing for you, and those words could not be more true. So as we prepare for the surgery ahead, many a tear will be shed. All I can ask of God now is that you feel no pain. I'm so proud of my boys, Hassan and Hussein. No matter how this will all end, I'm forever grateful for the time we did spend. You've brought the country together in love and prayer. You've made 2010 a special year. Always remember, you are not alone. Please God, someday we'll all return home. I feel I must be one of the luckiest mums to have not one, but two precious sons. Love you both with all my heart and soul, Mummy.
I don't think there is a dry eye in the house. It's an incredible story. How are the boys doing?
11 months old now.
I'm looking to talk.
In 3 weeks' time, we have a really special first birthday. That's an amazing milestone. And this time last year, we never imagined having our two little fighters celebrate their first birthday, and it's just two little miracles.
When you found out that the twins were conjoined, you were told they had 70%, they had a 30% chance of survival, is that right?
Yeah, we were told the odds were actually 1,000,000 to 1 that they would live to birth. So I suppose everyone had prepared us for a burial when they were born. But here they are, you know.
Kept on,
Yeah, I mean, people thought I was kind of going mad, that I was convincing myself they were going to live, but I had to tell myself every morning they were going to live, otherwise you just couldn't face the day. But my two little girls got me through my pregnancy. I've got a rock of a husband, you know, and the six of us started this journey, and it's so beautiful to end this year on such a high note. Thanks to Susan Grant, the Infant and Maternity Awards, and every one of you who kept us in your hearts.
He's a big guy, but he's also a big softie, and very proud of his two little boys, I'd imagine.
Of course, yeah. That's the only I wished, you know, for all my life, to have two little boys, you know, just standing next to me, you know, calling me daddy, like, you know, every father.
Well, the fight goes on. What lies ahead for Hassan and Hussein?
This awards fell perfectly because next Tuesday we return to Great Ormond Street, and you know, the girls weren't really keen on going back to London, so this is a lovely lift. We've just been spoiled this weekend. It's like a little fairy tale. They've been pampered the last 2 days, and this time next year we hope to get them fitted with prosthetics. And you know, I've always said that these guys will be the same as every other kid in Ireland, except better.
But they're the best of friends. When you saw the very, very first scan of them, weren't they holding hands together?
They were. I mean, you know, I remember when we saw them holding hands in a little 3D scan, and they were 20 weeks old, you know. I was 20 weeks pregnant, and I remember when I just saw them, fingers clasped in the womb, and I just thought, you know, they're going to do well, these guys, they're going to help each other through it. And, you know, we had kind of even prepared ourselves that if the worst did happen at birth, it was a comfort. They had each other. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even though now they still share their little cot, and every night we top and tail them because they got too big for being side by side, you know. And every morning we'll put our heads into the cot, and there they are, two of them stuck together again. You know, know. But they do, face a lot of challenges still. But they have a wonderful little fighting spirit and a family who absolutely adores them. The whole country has just loved them to bits. So.
But donations are still needed.
Yes, it's been. I have a habit, I suppose. Anytime I speak, I just like to keep it positive, and I suppose I'm a devil for just wanting only the positives, no negatives. And that's what got us here. But as hasn't worked since last November, and things have been tough. But we concentrate on the big picture, and that's the boys are here. But still a long way to go. But we're getting there.
Anyway, a massive congratulations from everybody here in the room. You've had such a tough year, and we hope that going forward things will work out. And your first Christmas, I'm sure you're looking forward to it with the boys.
So little Malek actually had wanted to speak to Martin. She wanted to say something.
Okay, what was it you wanted to say?
My brothers are so handsome, and I'm so happy that they lived, and they make me laugh all the time, and now my family's living like happily ever after.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ben Half family.
I'm sure you'll agree that today has been a mix of emotions, from celebrating the best products in the industry as voted by the consumer to hearing the heartfelt stories submitted in all the people categories. I would like to thank everybody who has taken the time to nominate and to be here with us today. Some have travelled the length and breadth of the country. We're also delighted to have shared so many inspirational stories today, rewarding children, parents and members of the medical profession and more. Thanks again, and enjoy your celebrations. Martin and I look forward to seeing you all next year.
Yes, for another big day. Well done. Thank
you. Other winners on the day included Mother Care for Baby Store of the Year, Pampers for Nappy of the Year, Euromom.com for most family-friendly website, Falcon Holidays for most family-friendly holiday provider, Dublin Zoo for most family-friendly day out, and Lansanow for breastfeeding product of the year. To nominate someone special for next year's show, log on to maternityandinfant.ie/awards or check out our Maternity and Infant Awards Facebook page. If you would like to donate to the little fighters Hussein and Hussein Ben Hafaf, please contact the M&I team on 01 43 222 88.